Hello and welcome to another episode of Boys Gone Wild. Today we are joined by the wickedly talented, wonderfully wicked, Booby Beam Bing. No,
we should do that to every
I
guest.
think we should every guest. The wickedly talented, the wonderfully wicked,
Boo Bugsy.
Bebe Cave.
Yeah.
Hello, welcome back to the
I feel
episode.
like you're not taking me seriously as a guest.
What? A boo boo bee bee bee? Well, the wickedly talented, the wonderfully wicked boo boo bee bee bee.
It's a homage to maybe our favourite boy,
Exactly.
John Travolta.
You know what we're do you know what we're referencing, right? You don't know what we're referencing.
Have you not seen it?
Have you not seen
the Adina Menzel thing?
Yes.
John
Yeah.
Travolta, oh my god. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Did you think we were just
Mangleen.
No, but the thing is, he
a
doesn't
wickedly
say it like that.
He does.
The wonderfully wicked,
The wickedly talented,
bubbly.
a bling.
Doesn't he call her Adele Dazeem?
Dazeem. But
I just
I
don't know
called
the
you a
wickedly
BB Bom 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 because it was like
It's the equivalent.
There's
Of
the equivalent.
The
Adina
thing is,
Menzel.
now I can see you nailed it. You
Thank
did
you.
nail it.
Yeah.
That was just
Very
me
much.
being
No,
salty
welcome
about
to
the
the
whole
pod, BB Cave, third time guest. Who
Is
that might
no
you
one's done it
record?
more.
I think that's the elite club. The three.
Has anyone done it twice? Alfie Brown.
Paddy. Oh, maybe Paddy.
I think
Alfie
he's
Brown's done it
Because
twice.
he did it with you by himself.
Sam
Paddy.
Ely randomly's done it twice.
Sam's the best. Though.
Sam's a good boy.
Paddy's done it twice, yeah.
Paddy's done it. No.
Yeah, because he did it with you in Edinburgh.
Yes. So yes.
But I've never done it with Andrew.
No,
You've never done it. This is the
we're
this is
popping
the-
our cherry.
And this is the first time that we've ever
Spoken.
ever been.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
He keeps you very locked away. in the
Exactly.
room, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
She's like in Jane Eyre. You know the woman in the attic.
Yeah.
You're like that.
Trapped.
Trapped.
Uh-huh.
Well, BPD.
Yeah. I'll burn down your house.
Disorder.
No, I was going to say this is the first time that we ever we're obviously really good friends.
But you never
You
worked
shouldn't
together.
look at me like that when I say that.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, we can.
It's the first time that we ever been on social media together.
Yeah.
Apart from Indie Amnesty, where we're the face of the.
We were the face
Yeah.
of
We're the
Indie
face of,
Amnesty. What was the? How did that picture look again?
We were both really drunk and they were taking all of
Was
those
I being
photos.
sexually inappropriate with you?
But
As
it
you,
looks like
as
we're
you want
having,
to
Was I
do.
often am?
It looks like we're having the best
It
dance
does.
ever.
We were.
And you have this incredible cheekbone line cut in because you're
Yeah.
going like this with your
Which
face.
I don't have.
No,
so
no.
it looks like it was
No,
edited.
you do have great cheekbones, but in
There
this
it is.
picture specifically, you look like
Yeah.
a male model. And quite rudely, they've just used my back. But
Yeah.
my back does look pretty good.
Yeah.
It's because I found you towards the end of the night just going mental
Yeah.
dancing. By
Yeah.
yourself.
Didn't you
yeah,
go
yeah.
turbo, baby?
I think so.
She
I
went
think I
turbo,
started doing
yeah.
sprints.
Yeah.
around
Were you
the-
doing,
I
were you
was
doing
having
laps
fun.
of the venue?
I think so. I think so. After speaking to your ex-girlfriend and her new boyfriend,
I remember,
high-fiving them,
I
telling them
remember
to fuck
having a
off.
good.
you high-fived my ex and
And then going
Oh,
up to a different girl that you've been involved with and telling her if she ever spoke to you again, I would kill her.
and she
As
didn't
a
she
joke,
didn't think
as a
verbatim.
funny joke.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're actually friends now, and she's a comedian too.
Yeah.
But I guess that's not her type of comedy because I don't think she found it very funny
What,
when I
you
said
saying
it.
if you
Threats
touch
to
her
murder.
again, I'll kill you?
I was like, if you
Yeah.
ever go...
But had you said anything to her before you said that?
No, this was the first time we were meeting.
Hard to assess.
Hard
Hard to
Yeah,
assess a level
yeah,
of a joke.
Yeah. It's cool. No, I'm one of the girls.
Yeah.
I'm one of the girls.
You're on the go.
It's nice to be here with the girls.
Yeah, this is the girls' pod. This is the gossip pod. This is
Yeah,
what's nice.
you know
It
that
is a
like really cool girls that I know love your guys'
Yeah, this is
podcast.
mainly
That's nice,
it's,
yeah.
it's a
I
girls.
get messages all the time. Really hot girl from my school messaged
Always
me the other
hot.
day saying, "Oh my god, I'm obsessed with this
They're always
podcast." And it's
hot.
like,
Nice.
"Oh my god, I'm obsessed with you."
I
Yeah,
talked
they are
about
always
when I
attractive.
saw Mike Rice in Edinburgh talking to a 95-year-old woman, and I was like, "Who's that?" And he goes, "That's one of my longest-serving patrons."
Longest ever patrons. No way. That's sweet in
Not
a way,
95. I think she was 70.
That's sweet in a way.
It is sweet, but yeah, we got no one over.
yeah,
I don't think
every-
anyone over 40.
No.
But yes, how about
Do
you?
you want some
Andrew?
herbal tea?
How have you been? Andrew's been obsessed with these herbal teas.
I don't like the
This
mugs
one's
in this
mint,
house.
No.
everyone. This one, it's mint this week.
Yeah.
I'm kind of...
tea of the week.
Oh, I don't... I can't... I'm not allowed to drink turmeric tea this week, apparently.
Why?
Because I'm whitening my teeth.
Who said this? Your girlfriend?
Yeah.
How
She's
does
got
she
like
know?
little whitening strips from America, and she says,
Oh.
don't drink turmeric.
Crest.
Yeah.
Mm.
Are they bad? I didn't like that look.
Well, I've been told by dentists. I was thinking of using. I bought some like years ago, so they're probably expired. And then I spoke to. when I had,
97% of dentists agree. Is it one of those
no,
ones?
apparently they can weaken your teeth a little.
Mm,
but
they
I think
already
I've got
feel
really
a bit
weak teeth
weaker.
anyway because I had braces for 5 years because my teeth were totally fucked up.
Did you find that rude when she suggested teeth whitening? How did you take it?
She didn't suggest it. Thank you.
You suggested it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You said, let me have whiter teeth. And
Yeah.
she came up with the solution.
Well, because it's like she's got this thing from America. That's the thing from America. Well, she
Yeah.
uses them a lot. I haven't
Yeah.
tested the bristleness of her teeth recently, but I
Yeah.
will be when I see her.
Please.
But I think I was ready for a change, because you can only do so much maintenance, and I've often been bad at maintenance. At uni, it was terrible.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, I think
and then
you
she presented
viewed
it
it
as-
quite suspiciously. I feel.
I didn't trust the
You had
toothbrush.
it. You had it. No. Oh, you mean? I thought you meant with just general
No, yeah, I do mean
self. You had a big suspicion of it, and then there was a big change. It can
Yeah.
never. It never comes from me.
No.
I feel whenever I advise you about it, it adds another 3 months on for you
Yeah.
before you'll accept it.
For anything, for anything.
I was talking about moisturising for about maybe a year before you started doing it. And I remember, I think you would have done it 6 months earlier if I hadn't been so strong on start moisturising.
Well, you're not exactly the after picture that I want to achieve. So, although you might come up with some valid points every now and again, it's not. I don't jump on the trends that he's jumping on.
Whatever he's doing, I'm doing.
I got Horatio into moisturising.
Yeah,
I was moisturising.
I
before.
can see that.
but not as hardcore.
You weren't cleansing your skin though, were you?
What was
You
that
weren't
mean?
You're
exfoliating.
moisturising without cleansing.
He still really refuses
No.
to use a fucking flannel, which is so.
I never
annoying.
use flannels.
Always
It's
pushing
too hard
flannels
to,
on him. He
hard
just
to-
never
hard-
accepting any of
Too
my good
hard
Do
advice.
to-
you not do it
upkeep.
just with your hands? Is
Yeah,
that not
that's
enough?
what I do.
I do that with a cleanser and exfoliant.
But then you're always washing and drying flannels on an endless loop.
I know, but that's what you have to be doing.
How many
unfortunately.
flannels do you have?
Well, currently here I have 4 dirty ones because Horatio just refuses to wash them for me, so I'm gonna have to take them back and wash
Yeah.
them myself. And I brought 3 new clean ones for today.
Yeah.
So that's for here.
Yeah, for here.
How many at your house?
Oh, probably around 30.
Right,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
a lot of
yeah,
flannels.
I expected that number.
Yeah.
That's
of
a lot of
course.
flannels.
Of course.
Do you have a favourite flannel?
Oh, 100% is ridged. You know, for my
For her
comfort.
pleasure.
So does
keep the
Ridge-
smut to a minimum, guys.
Does ridged mean that you can get more
It
of
just
the,
is
out of the
quite nice for
pores?
the exfoliating purposes.
Right.
And I have quite dry, sensitive skin, but it's really effective in getting just feeling
Yeah.
very clean. But you shouldn't over cleanse your skin as well. I've
Yeah.
learned that it's bad to use cleanser in the morning apparently. But to be fair, I have learned
Maybe.
all of this on TikTok.
It can
so
get quite dry.
yeah.
Yeah.
I feel
Yeah.
it's great for men to have a good skincare routine and everything, but I think the moment they own a flannel, they've kind of given up.
On
It's
what? What have they
true.
given up on?
Just their themselves.
I think it's
Do you think
okay
it's
for a man to use a flannel
Yeah.
if he's already got a girlfriend. If I was dating a man and realised that he already was using flannels, it's either
That's a red flag.
his ex-girlfriend has given him that habit and I'm like
Yeah.
disgusted,
Yeah.
or that's just like a bit weird. You have to introduce flannels to a man. I don't want a man that already knows how to use flannels.
Have you done any self-care days with Elle where you face mask,
I've done a face
tied
mask.
up thing?
The
Yeah.
thing is, I'm not one for any kind of treatment.
Sure, you're not one for one.
I'm not one for one. If I said it once, I'll say it 1,000 times. Because we're actually going to Centre Parks,
Yes.
and
The two of you.
Yes.
just us two.
We
Could record a podcast at
it-
Centre Parks
easily,
which
It's-
would be fucking hilarious.
It's just so bizarre.
Do you
to
not
me.
know?
It's
We're
a
going
corporate. It's a
with-
corporate getaway. This
It's
is
bizarre
this is a
to you,
business
BB,
holiday.
It's the
This
time
is
of
a
your
team
fucking
building.
life.
It's a
the time
team
of your
building
fucking life.
exercise.
I can't remember much from when I went, but I went when I was younger. when
I'm
my
going in
parents were
blind.
still together, and it was the fucking best.
Do you
thing
think there's
ever.
any residual feeling? Centre Parks to you represents pre-divorce.
The amount of things we've said represents my family not being
But
separated.
I feel your vision of your parents before they broke up was a Centre Parks trailer.
we were all in musicals. We went to
It
Centre
was
Parks.
you.
We played squash.
It was like, Andrew,
Played
what
squash every
was it
weekend.
like before your parents split? And then it goes, and it's just you on a side.
Well, it's different activities.
Woodland,
And then the activities stop.
badminton.
So is it like a theme park?
That is doing
That
a
is
gross
A
disservice,
theme
baby.
park.
So
No,
I never went to
it's-
theme parks when I was a child.
well, you
it's
never went
not-
to you're scared of roller coasters. Are you
Don't
scared of roller
point.
coasters?
No,
Don't
not
point.
at all. But I
Stop
went on a roller
pointing.
coaster for the first time when I was like 16 or 17. So I never
Yeah.
really had any experience of them.
But
And
would
then I was
you-
like, oh my God, I love this.
You
But-
do love it.
Oh, absolutely.
I think I need to do that because I
Yeah.
haven't really been on them.
I haven't been
because
one for
They're
ages.
so
I think I'm
fun.
up for a roller coaster. I don't have that sort of thrill in my life. I haven't had any sort of like
First theme
That
park
sort of
I went to,
adrenaline
there was
rush.
what is it called? Cheshire.
Chessington.
Chessington World of Adventures.
I went for a 16th birthday party and it was awful.
Yeah.
Really, really
Sounds
awful.
grim.
Isn't
Yeah,
that
yeah.
the like kids one?
I think so. Yeah. And
It's
it was
like
just
a
very
dragon or
bleak and
something.
Well,
depressing.
it's quite weather dependent theme park because theme parks in the rain are quite brutal.
I
I
also
also
went-
find theme
oh,
parks
sorry.
quite fascinating just for like the concept of fun in a theme park.
I hate theme parks.
Do you know what I mean?
It's forced fun.
It is forced fun, but it's like there's probably no other place where it is. The business is fun. It's the fun economy. It's the concept of fun. It's all about fun. The only reason you're there is fun. There's no other.
We've definitely discussed this previously on the podcast because that's why I have a phobia of them in a way.
Is the forced fun element?
It's a forced fun because I can't enjoy myself in that environment because there's so much money going into making you try and have a good time that something in me just refuses.
You want
to
a
have
subtle,
a good time.
like a pub. The concept isn't fun necessarily.
Yeah, it can be bleak.
Yeah,
It has the potential to be bleak.
yeah, and it doesn't sell itself as otherwise.
You can go there depressed and drink your trouble.
You can't
away.
go to a theme park.
You can't be upset on a roller coaster.
No, you can't.
I went to Legoland last year on Valentine's Day with my sister's older 2 children, Donnie and Margot.
Where was I?
Yeah, where were you?
Yeah, you didn't fucking text me all day. Do you not think part of the reason why I was so depressed at Legoland, probably more depressed than I've ever been in my entire life, I literally started CBT therapy about 2 weeks after it.
What was I doing? I think I was doing Diablo at the time.
You were. No, you were at Thorpe Park by yourself.
No, I was just having a really shit time, and I wanted to help my sister, who was really heavily pregnant at the time, take the kids. It was half term and stuff. Going to Legoland with 2 children like under the age of 8.
When you're depressed.
When you're depressed, and it's like a half term, so it's just fucking packed to the nines, and it was drizzling with rain. Well, I don't know why I said drizzling like that, because drizzling is actually not a super heavy verb, is it?
Yeah,
I meant to say pouring with rain.
Said it aggressively.
Yeah. I meant to say it was drizzling.
It's absolutely drizzling out there. You coming? It's drizzling to hell.
And then it started pouring, and so we had to hide in the shelter. And there was this queue for this ride called Flight of the Sky Lion. I think that's what it was called.
For
2 hours.
I believe you.
Yeah.
And it was so underwhelming.
You don't buy
It was
it.
one
I
of
could
those-
see it in her eyes.
I don't buy it.
It was advertised as like the most amazing ride at Legoland, but it was actually just one of those rides where you sit in the row of chairs, and then it's like a green screen, so they just move you up a little bit, up and down.
It didn't
God, I was
win.
disappointed.
Did you have any proper like adrenaline roller coasters, like the ones
No.
that scare you?
What
Do
was
you not really have
Legoland?
those at Legoland?
No, not really. No.
When I was 7, I was under the impression that everything in Legoland was made of Lego. Is that true or not?
Confirm or deny?
Yeah.
Even the
Pretty much
food?
everything.
How
What
do
do
you
you
how do you digest it? No wonder you're ill.
It was over
You've
a
eaten
year
Lego.
ago.
How many
a year
slurps
ago.
It was
of that
just under a
drink
year
would
ago.
you have before you give up?
Yeah.
I think that's made of Lego.
No, yeah, that was pretty bleak. You did eventually text me.
Yeah, what did I say?
I think about 4 p.m.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we'd vaguely had
Saying
plans.
what? Happy Valentine's Day.
No, he didn't say happy. He
No.
doesn't believe in that.
I said hello.
Yeah. He
You
said,
don't believe
No,
"Hello."
it wasn't. I don't believe in that. I think.
You just kind of think it's a little bit stupid, don't you?
No, not really. I don't think so.
Well, basically, we vaguely
I don't
had
think I have a
plans.
strong opinion on it.
Well, there you go.
There you
Yeah.
fucking go, Horatio. There you
Yeah.
fucking go.
But
Anyway,
I'm very indifferent
Not-
to it. For sure.
Which means you should text.
Yes. Yeah.
we had vague plans to go to our favourite takeaway place, but in the restaurant for the first time.
Bodine's.
No,
No,
not
not
Bodine's.
Bodine's.
Oh, this is becoming a train wreck watching it.
Yeah, this guy, this
Bodine's.
fucking
Not
guy.
Not Bodine's.
Bone Daddies.
What's it? The Hoxton. Was it?
The Hoxton.
Are you trying to make me
Yeah,
guess
I want
it?
to see if you know.
It's the hot. I don't know.
Actually, to be fair, I can't remember
Yeah.
either. Anyway, it's this ribs place, and we were
Oh,
going to
Bone
go
Daddies.
Barbecue. Do you like
barbecue. Yeah,
Isn't it
so
Bone Daddies?
good.
No,
it's
Bone
not
Daddies is the ramen place.
Oh my God, it's
But
so
I
good.
appreciate and understand your
Yeah.
train of thought, so it's nice. It
Anyway,
shows you listen and care.
it had been something I suggested. I mentioned to you like a few times in the weeks previous, and so when it got to the Valentine's Day
Plants a
actual
lot
thing,
of traps, our baby.
Yeah.
I thought
And
that he
I-
was gonna like book it or something, and then he just didn't.
Something that
Well-
I'm not great at is she'll lay
It's
down a
brutal.
lot of subtext. There's very little direct.
Be leaving out little
I feel I'm
breadcrumbs.
quite direct with what I say, and people will leave little breadcrumbs. She might like forebode something, or just leave it throughout over the next kind of the 3 months leading up. She'll have little bits here and there, and I'll just. It's like laying a little flower, and I just trample over.
But
Them.
is-
Absolutely, always over my
What,
head.
laying a clue to go to that restaurant? Was that it?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I
So
don't
it's not.
think
It's,
it.
if she's been laying clues for maybe months, all about leading up to let's go out to that restaurant. That's probably quite a simple
Have
thing.
you seen
to,
the film Memento?
Yes, I have.
That's me with these sort of clues.
You having
It's
to work
me-
backwards.
it's me trying to piece about. I've got
Finding
amnesia.
photos of notes.
Except for
Who
it's
killed
one.
my wife?
It's one sentence in it. I want to go to that restaurant on Valentine's Day.
Yeah,
That's the end of the film.
It,
you
takes
you
him
see
months.
Valentine's Day, then you see
That's the
restaurant.
beginning.
Again, still could work.
That's
it
the
out.
beginning and
Yeah.
end of the
Yeah.
film. Is
Yeah.
that moment?
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
that
And there's like a dead body everybody in your room. You're having to work out how you got to that point. Anyway, to be fair, we did have a bit of a fight, and then you came over, and then we actually ordered from the place anyway. It turned out to be fine. I think I was having a bit of a stressful time at that point.
You probably always do.
The Legoland really didn't help the situation. I gotta say,
bleak. It's a bit depressed at a theme park.
Ever going back there ever in my whole life.
So Centre Parks is very different to that.
Okay. I trust
you. Bring it back to what we were talking about.
Yeah. I'm sorry, boys.
I just don't want to leave it on that note because
that's sour.
Centre Parks is a very important place to me.
Yeah.
I am a bit nervous about going back because it's got such joyous memories within me that it might be ruined.
All of the boys very keen on it, and I was the only one who was
had
skeptical.
to convince him.
Yeah. Well, I was more just like, I'm obviously game for it. I wanted a bit more of a discussion,
No, but as soon as someone said it, it was just there.
And
and the moment we were all like, that's the best idea. Because you wanted to go to like Prague or something.
No, that's not true.
That is the truth.
Yeah.
You said the word Prague.
I did say Prague. Yeah.
How many boys are going?
5.
5, including us.
Okay.
Yeah.
So who's going to be sharing a bed and who's going to be in the bunk beds?
We haven't sorted that out. And
I think it's
relevant.
2 beds per room. I think. I don't know though. Who knows?
We'll
probably
the
end up
activities.
sharing.
There's baby owls. You can look at baby owls.
Centre Parks basically is a place. It's like you get basically a log cabin. I'm sure it will vary depending on which Centre Parks you go to.
It's a woodland dream.
I think I went to the one in Longley.
Dreamland. It's a woodland dreamland, isn't it?
It is a woodland dreamland.
And the vibe, they have a very distinctive.
It's a utopia.
The vibe though is woodland wholesome, isn't it?
Woodland wholesome.
Yeah,
it's quite family orientated.
Yeah.
There's log cabins. You can cook for yourself. You can eat out, but you can get everywhere by bicycle.
Is it fancy Butlins?
Yeah, absolutely.
And what's Butlins aesthetic?
Butlins is like sad swimming pool.
Don't put in adjectives.
Like the place that they went to in After Sun.
Yeah,
right?
But Butlins, what's
definitely, yeah.
You got like Centre Parks? They've clearly gone for a vision, which is that log cabin, perfect family utopia. What's
Butlins is a bit like a cruise.
Have you been to a Butlins?
Yeah, Butlins is a bit like a cruise.
Of course he's been to a Butlins.
Look at me.
What the fuck's that supposed to mean?
It's just Andrew.
Why? Because I got wonky eyes.
What's that supposed to mean?
Thanks, Bebe. Jesus Christ.
No, I just feel like
Of course he's been to a Butlins. What do you mean, of course?
Look, I don't have to quantify it, but I just feel like Andrew has experienced a lot of those different types of things.
Was that before or after the divorce, Butlins? Before. Okay.
Before, yeah.
Good.
Post-divorce is sad, yeah.
It's sad. If that was after, if it was Centre Parks before and then Butlins after, that's a great film, actually.
In fairness, it was like Turkey before and a canal barge holiday after.
Oh, the canal barge.
It's not too far off.
Yeah.
But Butlins is a bit like a cruise, whereas...
It doesn't move.
Yeah. Well, you've got the same kind of entertainment. It's you can imagine the guys getting up doing their songs and
oh my God,
things.
yeah.
Do you have those surfing, those like pools where you can surf?
You mean like a wave pool?
A wave pool.
I don't think.
So.
I don't think so. I've had a look through all.
Because that's in my head. That's what a cruise is. That's out on the deck, surfing on a stationary wave.
I think that's
pool.
Quite a specific cruise.
My grandparents love to go on cruises.
It's an old person thing as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
They're dead now, though.
Because of the cruise.
Yeah.
Yeah. Namaste.
But it's like you can go. You can cycle everywhere, and there's a myriad of activities. Name an activity.
Trampolining.
You can do it.
You definitely can do it.
100% you can trampoline at Butlins. Name another one.
Butlins or Centre Parks?
Not Butlins, Centre
spinning
Parks.
plates.
No. Well, that's not an activity.
That is an activity.
That's an unhealthy obsession.
No, I went to a clown course when I was in summer holidays when I was a kid, and I learned how to
spinning
do
plates as well.
plates.
Well, that's
probably
that's the same family as Diablo.
There'll be pottery there.
Absolutely, there'll be pottery.
How big is this? Because I don't.
It's ginormous.
Is it ginormous?
Yeah, it's ginormous. Name an activity.
Are you sure? Because remember you were as a child.
Roller skating?
Heck yeah. I know that for a fact.
Roller skating.
Yeah. Name another one.
Skateboarding.
No. You can bring your own skateboard, and that's fine. We're not in America. Grow up.
Have you looked through the activity?
Name any activity.
Zorbing.
No, there was no zorbing.
Exactly.
But there is
I knew I was going to be able to stump you.
Swing ball.
Yeah.
Well, you can play like racquetball, paddleball, and that new kind of tennis that's like in between tennis and table tennis.
I'd love to go to the racket centre and ask for swing ball and then get furious. Lads,
if they don't have swing ball.
they've got squash, they've got racquetball, they've got tennis.
I think with things like skateboarding and swing ball, it's like there's not a lot stopping you from doing that at home. So why bother offering it at Centre Park?
That's true. No, that's really.
And also, I wouldn't want to see public swing balling. Because it'd probably be a room where
so
there's
you'd
loads
want private swing ball rooms.
Well, no, no, because swing ball is for a sad garden.
I think that's unfair, but yeah,
it's a thing that's in a sad garden.
But I had swing ball in all of my gardens.
They're sad gardens.
They're not sad gardens. In fairness, I think the only not-so-good one we didn't have swing ball.
Swing balls are part of a sad garden.
I think that you might be onto something there for sure.
Swing balls part of a sad garden, but
is it because you can play it by yourself?
Yeah, the only sport really that you
no, it's got that solitaire sort of vibe.
Why do you have to? Why is it so activity based? I just don't like the idea of it being such an exercise focus.
But might not be the place
you're quite
for
a
you.
sedentary creature.
Do you want to not slag me off?
I'm not slagging you off.
There's nothing wrong with being a sedentary creature. I think creature was the word that might be difficult with that.
I don't believe in endorphins and all that.
Well, that's why we didn't invite you to Sandbox.
When she runs, she's slower than when she walks. It's amazing. If she starts running,
you got my reflex. That's what I get.
I was thinking that the chair kind of shook.
That is an underrated thing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It's really it's really creepy.
Yeah, this is great.
You don't see many adults doing that and like
no, you don't
pulling
see
that out, do you?
Pulling what out?
In school, like the really annoying kid in class would like try
say
and
it's an eighth of
bully
an orgasm.
you and do that thing.
Yeah.
You know, like you don't see many adults like bringing that into
wait, bully you by giving you an eighth of an orgasm,
or like doing the reflex thing.
You got me there as well. But you remember the eighth of the orgasm thing?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
or like
me in the corner just doing that 8 times, just fucking the whole. Just me overhearing it going. I could have been just going.
Oh god, that's so weird.
But you were talking about Bebe being a sedentary creature.
Yeah, well, it's more when Bebe is amazing. When Bebe, I've seen her at full pace.
She runs slower than she walks.
Yeah, it's amazing. When she starts running, it's like she starts going backwards, or she's stuck in treacle. It's her lack of pace is unbelievable. It's like she's dragging a fridge. She'll walk like normal pace, then she'll start running, and I swear it goes half the speed.
I don't know. I'm just not built to be an athletic.
We
person.
went running together once. We've never done it again.
No.
I don't get
I started
so
laughing.
mean to me. It's insane how mean you are.
And while she's running, she's shouting at me, "Hey, stop!
I'm stuck in treacle. Stop!"
And just sweating. It's incredible.
I never get people that run together. I don't see the point.
It was lockdown.
Still,
so
run by yourself. I've just got into I've had this discussion quite a lot.
Well, now I know why. Because some people just can't keep up.
Well, it's different paces.
You have very long legs. I've got very short legs.
Yeah,
so.
little. Yeah.
Yeah, but everyone's going to run at like a different pace. And if I'm running, I want to run.
Yeah.
And I don't want to slow down or speed up.
Yeah.
I want to do it at my own pace. But people love going on runs together. It's something I've never understood.
Yeah, I don't think of it as like a social time.
But I don't
it's
love.
not exactly.
But I don't love running. But maybe
and
if you love running, maybe then you could share it.
But if you love running, then why wouldn't you want to run the best you can? Well. Who knows? Look, who cares?
You know this is too big a question.
It's far too big for the three of us.
How was your weekend, Andrew?
I went to Oxford.
Yeah.
I went to the Premier Inn in the Oxford Cowley Business Park. Thanks for asking,
we actually saw you leaving quite a humiliating taxi. That was hilarious.
The timing was embarrassing.
That was hilarious.
It was, when have we ever both left the house at exactly the same time?
Did the car take you all the way to Oxford?
No.
Oh, okay. So I was thinking that would be kind of justifiable then.
But it was taken a long time.
I didn't realise how.
It took you to Mile End Station, did it?
No, it took me to.
Oh shit! Sorry, I didn't mean to reveal your address.
I mean, they know.
Okay, cool.
It took me to London Fields.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
But
you had a lot of room in the back, didn't you?
Yeah, but the thing is, I didn't realise how humiliating as a concept this actually was. Me and Bebe were just leaving. Andrew's leaving at the same time. You've been getting ready, waiting for this taxi for maybe like 5-10 minutes. It pulls up. It looks like a van that takes old people to the beach, maybe. Is that what? Or people with...
back from the beach for some reason.
Or people with... You know, it looks like a sunshine bus, you know?
Well, there's a school for mentally...
Don't do that.
There's a school for children with learning difficulties down the road.
Is there?
Yeah. And they have one of those.
Yeah, that's the big building over there.
That's what I mean.
To put it, yeah.
That's not making fun. That's not saying that.
No, it's a vehicle it's a specialist vehicle.
I'm sure if they painted
it was the most cube-looking taxi I've ever seen.
And then you get in the back with your...
Well, no, because it said very aggressively on the door, like, do not touch the handles. Yeah. Don't touch the door.
You just had to sit there.
I just had my bag just waiting.
Waiting for this door. We also going to London Fields. Why didn't we get in the car with him?
We should have got in your...
I don't think you knew where I was going.
Yeah,
that's
we did.
True. Yeah, they are very mysterious. Horatio says that you never ever reveal details about where you're going,
where
you've been.
You where... Yeah, I guess because there's no real reason I need to know any of these things, but it's the fact that you don't tell me makes me think that there's something more suspicious going on. I'd go like, you'll be like, I'm busy then, And then maybe
When?
3 hours later, I think with the Oxford thing, I'm busy then.
That's actually no.
And then
no,
I was like,
he doesn't read messages.
Well,
What was
that's the
your-
thing
He
with
doesn't
my
read
husband too.
messages.
Well,
I
that's-
said to you, I can't do it. I'm going to Oxford.
yeah, fine. You said that bit.
At that point, yeah,
Yeah.
but I'm not gonna. We're trying to organise a plan. I'm not gonna go into why. I'm
Yeah.
saying the what.
Yeah.
I can't do it because I'm here. That also opens up for a question if you're interested. I'm not
Why are
gonna
you
pile
going
on
to
my
But
plans.
you do, yeah, you do the smallest amount of information you could possibly give.
That's
about
really
something.
cool. It's very
It's
cool.
true.
To be
Always, you
mysterious.
feed it the smallest bit, and it makes it
'Cause I'm
sound
alwa-
like
I'm-
it's something sinister when it never is. But it's
like, yeah.
always like,
Well, I'm just like, who cares?
well,
I don't find it that interesting.
That's
yeah,
Like,
it's
who
not.
cares?
It's not about. It's more about boring the person to make them feel.
Stop
like,
asking me questions.
Yeah, well, you bore them to make them feel as if there's nothing going on. You know?
Right.
Do you know
I
what I mean?
suppose so, but I
So
don't.
it's like it is irrelevant, but I need to hear that to know it.
But
is.
you don't exactly come in my room and be like, "So what are we up to tonight?" Then,
Well,
mate?"
no, exactly. But you do. You keep it close to your chest. Where are you going to Oxford? Oxford. What are you doing at Oxford? A gig. So all right.
Oh, you mean you're talking
Yeah.
about that conversation?
Yeah. Just keep it. Just always. Well,
Yeah.
it's just a consistent thing.
Yeah, that's
It's been
probably
over
fair.
10 years.
But he's always been that way.
Always. So what does that mean?
No, I was just going to say, I was wondering if you guys have noticed, have you at points in your relationship been closer or less close? Like more willing to give information or...
Complete the same.
has it
Always.
always
It's
been
never
completely
really
consistent?
changed. Yeah.
Exactly the same.
Exactly the
from when
same.
we met till now.
From day
No
one.
growth. Exactly
Yeah.
the same.
Are you making fun of
I'm
me?
making fun of you. Sorry.
Fucking
I'm
hell.
sorry. I'm sorry.
You invite me onto this podcast and
Yeah,
then
don't
all you do
this
is be
You're in the
horrible
dojo,
to me.
babes.
I
yeah,
also
I was just
think-
wondering.
Yes,
if
yeah,
you've
it
noticed
goes-
since you had a girlfriend that you are less close because like Andrew would kind of be like
and
your
I'd stop
girlfriend.
telling him about my trips to Oxford. then,
Yeah. Is
No.
that why you don't reveal the information?
That's why I'm like, you're with your girlfriend all the time. So why would I tell you about Oxford with my girlfriend?
No, I don't think me being in a relationship affects me. And it affects maybe other relationships, I think. But I don't think
No.
we don't really do that. Because what it affects, I think being in a relationship, it starts affecting the friends you do girlfriend stuff with. Me and Andrew don't really do girlfriend stuff with.
What do you mean by girlfriend
We do
stuff?
marriage stuff together.
Yeah, that's
we
true.
do.
We
That is
skip
true.
far too many steps.
That's
We're in
true.
Argos, picking
Yeah.
out, you know.
Having an argument.
But you don't go for dinner and stuff.
Yeah, like,
yeah.
and we've throughout our whole relationship, we've always had mistresses, and there's people you go out, you'd find out a new part of yourself,
Yeah.
there'd be,
But we'd always come home
come home
to the
miserable.
to the depressing house. I suppose we.
So
both
I
love
think
each
it
other.
would having a relationship would only affect those sort of relationships that
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah,
fully
Yeah.
survive on.
they are mistresses. You're
Yeah.
right, actually.
And I think when you're a single guy, you end up going on man dates a lot more. Just
Yeah,
like
that's
you
true.
have a free Sunday,
That's
so you're
absolutely
just gonna
true.
do
Get
yeah.
more into football.
Yeah, and there's just and the thing is, you just can't really justify it when you're in a relationship because it is just. It is
Justify what a mandate.
Yeah, a mandate just becomes harder to justify
Mm.
when you've got a miserable whining girlfriend at home who won't stop fucking nagging.
It's the yapping, isn't
it's
it?
the yapping. I've said
yapping
this.
that gets
I've
you.
said this
I
before.
just I find male friendships so interesting because I don't really have any male friends.
No. But she has no idea how men talk to each other because she can't understand how I don't know more things about, like specific things. I'll know
About
my male friends. Like, for
Oh,
example, Elle went to LA for, 3 days, was it?
a week.
A week. But 3 days into that, Bebe was asking about you and she goes, so...
I said to Zoe, does Andrew miss out? And then
And I
Horatio
think
said,
I was
why
doing-
would I know
I
that?
think-
I think
Why
I
would
was-
I know that?
I think I was doing something as well, and it was like, it was just such a like, how does that conversation go? She's been gone for 3 days.
I thought it was
What-
more than that, to be fair. I thought it was more than that.
But run me through. You do an act out of that conversation. Me finding out that
Spare me,
Andrew's missing
please.
Elle.
No, I just think it's
Do I
interesting.
knock on his door and wait in the thing?
I just think it's interesting that
Do you miss
whenever
her?
you hang out, fuck off, Horatio, honestly. I find it interesting that
Lonesome.
whenever you hang out with friends that you haven't seen in a while, I'll ask these questions like, oh, what's going on with him and his girlfriend? Or did he move into that new place yet? Or what's going on with the job? And it's like literally
No,
not a single
nothing.
update.
But
But that
I don't
is
know
also.
what you guys would be talking
But that's
about.
also catch up, like a conversation to catch up with what's going on. When we live and work together,
Yeah.
we don't really catch up.
You don't
because
update.
You're
But
just
it's
kind
the
of
same with
there.
his friends that he meets up with, like in a catch-up.
No, it
capacity.
is true.
Yeah.
They just don't exchange any vital information.
You always
find
ask.
fascinating.
You always
I
ask
do,
how Finn's
but not with
baby
him.
is, and I do
I'm
ask.
always like, how's it?
Yeah, I
Having
do
a baby?
ask
How's
how,
Finn's baby?
but then it's like I'd ask Finn how his baby is, and then he starts getting pissed off because I realise I'm asking him to basically, and it became a weird thing because I keep asking how, and he's got nothing new to say, really, and then I realise, oh, I'm only saying this so I have something to feed back to Bebe, and it's just like I think if anything,
So you don't care how Finn's baby is? Wow.
I would care, but I think he doesn't care to tell me. You know, I think he's trying to get away from.
Yeah, I think
about
I've
the
just
baby.
had to adjust like over the course of the last few years, and like I do have male friends now, but they tend to be Horatius friends. I don't have like lots of independent male friendships. And maybe that's because then if it's like your boyfriend's friends, then they know that there's like a line that you can't cross with, like, you know.
With what?
I think everyone wants to shag you, basically.
No,
that's what she said.
That's not what I'm saying.
It was
I'm just saying that sometimes,
what's the line?
Sometimes with, you know, male friendships, it can be that weird grey area. I think.
Yeah.
And I just don't
That's
have
true.
a lot of them.
It's true. There often is. I think.
But then it's a safe space when it's a friend.
When it's like your boyfriend's friends, it's like they treat you like a sister, which is really nice.
Yeah.
I just don't enjoy like it when you can't tell if somebody like kind of is flirting with you or not. I just prefer for things to be a bit more open and clear cut. Yeah. But over the last few years, I guess I've got to know all of you boys and stuff so much better, and it is just fascinating to me that you just don't seem to do girly chat in the same way that me and my gal pals do. Yeah, you are fun. Yeah,
I do.
I do. Andrew is quite good at gossiping.
Not with you.
And so are you.
I don't gossip.
I gossip way more than Andrew.
Yeah, you're good at gossiping.
Gossiping is my number one.
I feel like I'm fucking this all up.
Gossiping is like...
I do emotions, he does
how
gossip.
I connect with most women.
So together, we're the perfect women.
Yes, exactly. You are the perfect woman.
I'm terrible at gossip.
Yeah.
I just go, well, actually, they've kind of got a fair point.
No, because I realise that's how I've learned, growing up with my sister and my mum, that's how I've learned how to connect with my mother. With my mother, is gossiping. So what do you mean emotions?
I can go deep.
What is
quite
this?
a lot.
I've never heard of this concept.
So they're things that happen.
What
and
is
they hit you.
Who
and
is
like,
this?
Well, no, I tend to in the pub. A lot of my like best friends are women as well.
Yeah.
So that kind of has added to it. But I like to go generally deep in a conversation at a pub.
Yeah.
I'd say I don't like events.
You like deep diving.
Andrew, you're so good at like a deep chat.
You love it. You love a deep chat. You love a deep.
So I do that with a lot of my friends, but a lot of some of my friends are resistant to it, and I've seen the kind of
glaze over.
Yeah.
That's definitely one of your more feminine traits, isn't it?
100%.
And that's a feminine
Pussy
trait
bitch.
that you don't have.
Yeah.
You're a gossip monger.
I'm a gossip monger, and that's one of my most feminine traits.
But also, you're a bit more emotionally volatile.
That's
Horatio's
true.
not.
Well, it kind of flipped annoyingly because you used to be the kind of more unhinged one.
Yeah,
now it's true.
Yeah, I was. Well, yeah. I think basically while I was at school, school was.
You hate it.
School was just so tough for me that I was just.
Because you were so down.
I was being.
His face was weird at the time.
Yeah. He did.
He just had a bit of a weird face.
For a while.
And people were mean about it.
It's so strange
but that wasn't
to look
really
at photos
what
of
it
you
was.
before we met, because I'm like, who the fuck is that guy?
Yeah, and I can imagine it was a lot.
It was odd, yeah.
I imagine it was a lot. And
this comes from love, but he smelt at the time.
Yeah.
Really?
Because now it's astonishing the turnaround this man has
Really?
had. Yeah.
Oh wow! I feel like I caught you just in time then.
Yeah. You've done
Or a
well
bit
for
too
yourself.
early, if anything.
Yeah, definitely.
You've done well for yourself. Oh,
It was more the regime of school, I think.
I felt Mike offended our friend Andy, who we're going to Centre Parks with, Andy's girlfriend, because he was trying to compliment our friend Andy about how good looking he was, but instead he said to Andy's girlfriend, "You've done well for yourself."
Yeah, which is such it's like
which you can't
such
say
a
to a woman.
blunder. You can't say that.
You can say it.
In
That's
fact,
the thing.
You can
say it to a man. It's a compliment to a man. It's an insult to a woman.
You can never imply that a woman is punching. That is just like one of the rudest things. It's like asking a woman if she's pregnant or what her weight is or how old she is. It's just one of the forbidden.
What's your weight?
Could you not
What's
say
your weight?
How many
stone you packing?
I love like small talk.
Yeah.
So how much
do you weigh?
Kilo, stone, whatever.
They had an interesting similar thing happen on Love Island recently.
Yeah.
When during one of the Truth or Dare challenges, this boy who was coupled up with this girl who was starting to feel a little bit badly treated. She's called Zara by this guy who's the.
I know.
Oh, you know.
How big have you been on this season?
I think I'm only one episode behind.
So do you only watch it with Elle still?
I watched one by myself.
Oh! You're doing it.
Yes, Andrew.
I'm out this season.
Now, I will clarify
It
it.
didn't work for me.
I will clarify it.
Babes, it's got so
It's getting
good.
there. It's getting
got
there.
so good. It is a little bit
I think
too.
the early stages I struggle with. They need
you need to. Yeah, you
the
need
producers
the
are meddling a little bit too much, I think,
Yeah.
to try and create the drama. But I feel like we've got to that point now, that pressure point where it's finally,
It's starting to
all
happen.
starting to tumble. People are
Yeah.
fighting. Anyway, my point was that in a Truth or Dare challenge, you saw this. Tom someone was asked if you had to pick 3 girls to make your ideal girlfriend, face, body, personality.
We all know he chose.
And he chose Zara for body.
And live for face.
And live for face, the girl that he was also kind of flirting with. You cannot choose another girl.
And here's me being a big old dummy. I saw that bit and I was like, surely personality is like the safe bet.
Well, I
thought that was playing.
That would be.
So like,
end of
if you were in there and I was trying to maintain,
personality.
So I'm in
the
Love
boy's
Island.
head.
I'm trying to maintain a relationship with you, and they ask me that question. I have to be 3. In my head, I'll be like, I'll give a personality.
Yeah, because Bebe, what you need to realise is in the boy's head, there is no truth in what's going to be said. The only thing that's going to be said is what's going to get me in the least trouble.
Yeah.
And what's the least offensive thing to say.
Yeah. And even though,
And he fucked it, but it's like
What
body.
would you say? Under pressure.
Well, for out of who?
So your girlfriend. So
Eloise is in
I say I would go for face.
Of course
I
you
would.
Would you?
go for
Do you think you'd
face.
actually would?
Yeah.
Because you're not stupid, because he's not
Yeah.
thick as 2 short planks like you.
I would absolutely go for face.
But then I thought personality.
Definitely
I
not
thought personality
body.
was the most brownie points. It's like wow.
No,
No, it's
because they
not.
know
Oh,
with
so
your
I'm going
girlfriend.
out with you despite the fact that there is a fitter girl with a fitter face and a fitter body? No way. That's
So you'd rather? You
death
bet you'd
bells.
rather me think someone I much prefer someone, but I think you're fitter.
No, because if you just choose another girl for personality, I'm gonna be like, oh, it's
Friendship.
You had to. You like her as a
Yeah,
friend.
but face is real then. But
Face
if I say
is
face,
Face
the
is the
only
window to the soul
acceptable
ratio.
option.
but the personality is the soul.
This is again one of Andrew's
No.
feminine traits.
No.
He understands that, whereas you don't.
Yeah, clearly.
That's your more masculine thing
Yeah,
going
yeah.
on.
Because personality could be, you could it's the game, so you've got to realise that they have to pick it. So with personality, I mean, that could be non-sexual. You just like their personality.
How are you finding this year's Love Island? Are you enjoying it?
I would like to clarify when I said I watched it by myself briefly. It was a work watch.
Okay.
So it was on during
It's a
work.
that's a half.
I haven't sat down with a herbal tea and a brownie and watched it by myself. Just
A brownie.
That would be a really weird
haven't had a
combination.
brownie for years.
Yeah, I was weird. I was like, no.
What, a brownie herbal tea in Love Island? Sounds
Yeah,
pretty
I don't-
delightful.
I
Sounds
don't,
pretty nice.
No. You wouldn't. You have to have a milky drink with a brownie if you're gonna have a drink at all. You're not having herbal
double
tea.
dip.
With it.
No. Herbal tea.
Yeah,
does,
like a coffee and a
Herbal tea
brownie.
does good with.
That'd be perfect.
I'm off the caffeine, baby. Don't bring it up.
Yeah, I heard that in your last episode actually.
Yeah, it's not that interesting.
No, it's interesting.
Being off the caffeine.
The taste of English breakfast tea with cake or biscuits is unrivaled.
Unparalleled, I agree.
It's absolutely unbelievable.
Yeah.
Don't know what it is. I don't know if it is good or is it just.
Why would you question that?
Well, I'm just like, is it just cultural that we all pretend it's good?
No.
Or do you think you could bring it to like, I don't know, tribesmen in the Amazon?
I think that's the wrong barometer to work it out
You give them a bourbon and a cup of tea, and they're like,
and they move,
they're like,
and they decide to move to England.
their eyes roll into the back of their head. And they just
Yeah.
start-
They question everything they've been through in their life. It's definitely cultural, but it's still good.
Because a bourbon.
I think that's the one thing we do well: tea and like cake. Not the one thing.
Cake's
but
good.
Tea and cake.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, so Love Island this year.
I have. It was a slow start.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely a slow start. I don't like.
How hot are these
Any
people? Do you think?
Well, the thing is,
Because they started off
they're
ugly, but then you
obviously-
start to like them more. Because the first thing, I'm like,
Yeah, I
what a
agree.
bunch of munters. And then as we got to know them more, suddenly I was like, is this the same people? Is it because
true.
I got to know them more? But I barely watched any of the episodes. Or it's because they're just not dressing in those starter pack.
Yeah, I completely
maybe
think it's
less
that.
makeup and all kind of everything's
Yeah.
relaxed a bit. Maybe
They
I like
tend
girls
to-
without makeup.
Yeah,
So,
it looks a little
I
forced.
prefer the more natural look.
Oh my god, I think it looks a little bit
Just kidding.
forced at the beginning.
Always makeup.
Head to toe.
Head to
exactly.
toe.
Body paint.
Don't
yeah.
leave the house without makeup.
I think at the beginning it's just like they're a little bit overstyled and they're wearing slightly awkward bikinis, to try and look as showy as
Yeah.
possible.
Yeah.
There's not much vagina left to the imagination. I'll tell you that much.
They look freshly waxed.
And you prefer imagining?
I prefer imagining. I'm all about the dreams that you can get. Fantasy.
It feels like everyone's just been through a car wash when they first come
does.
into that
You're
first
right,
episode.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then once they've got a bit of grit and dust and grime on them, I just feel like everybody starts to look a little bit better.
Yeah.
And once, of course, you see the personalities, everyone starts to look better. But I also think that you just start to become like comfortable and acclimatized to the type of faces that you see on Love Island after you've watched a few episodes. When you first go into it and you haven't seen the series in a while,
High
it can be
expectations.
quite shocking to your senses if that's not the type of like glam
Yeah.
girls that you're used to seeing. So it can
Yeah.
be just like a bit of you just have to adjust like 3D glasses.
I think
no?
it's the high expectations thing. You're expecting bombshells because they've promised bombshells.
They said bombshells.
They promised
They promised them.
bombshells.
the latest bombshell's pretty fed though, Sammy.
Yeah, she is.
She's very mysterious. I was thinking about her when we were talking about how Andrew's mysterious. I was thinking that Sammy's got that same quality as Andrew.
Did you go for the? I imagine the one you find most attractive, the one with the dark hair.
Yeah, Sammy, the one that just came in. Yeah.
No, the one who's been there for a while.
Oh, Olivia.
Yeah. Olivia's your.
Yeah,
although you fancy Olivia as well.
Although she's nuts. It's like she came in and I was like, yeah, she's definitely the fittest for me, like bodily and whatever.
Bodily fittest,
but she's nuts, and I could tell that immediately. And I think I've now moved away from my nuts girl kind of time. So that I was like, nuts girl era. When she came in, I was like, stay away from her. I've got like a radar that goes, no, things could go wrong if I went over there.
Like kicked in, didn't
essentially,
it?
Yeah. So probably her, but no, they're the new ones more like. You know, Olivia's a bit more like trashy hot, which is still very hot, whereas the new one's more like ethereal hot.
Yeah, and she doesn't even have to wear any eyeliner. That's what I'm so amazed by.
That's why I'm
when a girl just looks so fabulous just with a bit of mascara on.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's what I tried to go for today.
I wouldn't know. I'll fill you in when I've watched more.
We're watching it tonight, so don't worry.
Yeah.
I think it's more like a Love Island fever because I think I get a Love Island.
Do you
fever.
think over the Love Island season, everyone becomes less? If you watch it properly, you become less intellectual.
You start to care about things that are essentially kind of nonsense. Yeah. In a way, and the chats
Are you reading
and everything.
Still?
No. No,
I'm reading
since Love Island's come on.
Yeah.
I started reading since Love Island came on, but like to be fair, more as an antidote to it because I wanted to maybe not be,
as thick as you were last time.
I think it's also just because it's really comforting, you know, and you see people using the same speech patterns of like, well, obviously, I just
call
want
me
you
for a chat.
Yeah. And it's just, at first you kind of watching it like, oh my God, this is so alien and stupid and they sound so young.
And then you become part
of
it.
Then you realise like it's, I don't know, it becomes very comforting.
In being on Love Island?
No, not personally, but I do have a real interest in. I'm writing something about Love Island at the moment because I find it so interesting, and I do think that this concept of, you know, feeling like you are going to be this special one that's going to make it through, I find really, really fascinating because some people come across so poorly and then they come out of it and they think that people are going to really like them, and then they see that the way that
you don't know till you're out.
Yeah, I think it's a really fascinating concept, and I really recommend. Watching Channel 4 documentary Life After Love Island, which is just chronicles the fact that basically 90% of people that go on that show have to come out and go back to their normal jobs. I find it really interesting topic.
It's nuts. I'd be awful on Love Island. I've realised.
Do you think?
I'd hate it.
I'd be it depends how serious we're going to talk about this as a concept, how we'd be on Love Island, because it's like, is it?
Are we having fun with it or not?
Yeah, well, it's more. Is it us just mindset? So we imagine we're as good looking as all of them.
Yeah.
But imagine me topless. That I was trying to think. I'm fine about my body, but if I was on like, I'd feel so fucking being topless the whole time with my lanky.
Well, you'd wear like an ocean vest.
No, just fucking a rash vest.
Yeah,
I'd wear a rash vest.
Just walking along like that, trying to graft with girls in a vest.
So ugly. Like I reckon, you know, in the right sort of bar with the right clothes on, you would probably do all right with some of the thick Love Islanders. But if you're in the Love Island, playing in their home, you're playing away. You'd look because you'll be next to them.
I think it's more.
Imagine me on the sunbed.
I think it's
just
more
my pasty white.
It's more the comparison with the men rather than the women being
definitely.
Farmer Will, I think people predicted that he was going to be like a Dr. Dr. Alex Hugo type, very unlikable.
Yeah,
but
he's great.
He's actually very sweet, and
he's my favourite.
The fact that he's got the personality to kind of go along.
He's fun.
He moves a bit like a sim.
Does he give you the ick though?
He did at the beginning, but I think that now, just the contrast between what he's able to kind of come up with, conversation-wise, and the rest of the boys.
He's balmy. He's absolutely balmy. It's a joy to watch.
So I think
they very rarely get people like him on Love Island.
Yeah.
Like genuine, like quite quirky people.
Yeah,
it's true because they usually just Well, not usually.
I watched the first episode with you.
I was thinking of who's that guy that is the most boring person I've ever seen in my life on it.
Kai.
Yeah,
it's
mixed race
guy.
He
literally puts that
mixed race guy.
He always needs. Yeah, he's got the driest lips ever. He's got like such like spit the side of his mouth.
But
it's because he doesn't talk. It's because he's got no thoughts, so there's nothing to say. So his lips are like cobwebs.
The thrill with Farmer Will is that I watched the episode with the first week without voting people out, and it was so clearly going to be Will, and then he was saved at the last minute by a real, and it's very rarely like a 50-50 toss-up. You always know who's going out. I thought Farmer Will, it looked like he'd kind of fucked the first week, no one really liked him, and he clung on just about, and now he's probably going to go till the end.
Yeah, no, but that's...
And like, that was a moment in his life.
No, but he was always going to stay. It's always... The thing I don't love about Love Island is it's so easy to predict who's going to go and who's going to stay in these.
And there's no drama when they're
very
dramatising it.
There's only... and it could have been... But that he wasn't going to go in that one because a new guy had come in that had got no airtime that the girls didn't like, and there was always going to be one boy left over that a girl didn't want to be with, and they picked the friendship one. So
all right. Well, on the topic of Love Island and talking about beauty standards and talking about how I would feel on Love Island, let's talk about a debate that's been going on for a little bit now, I feel, but I think it's maybe more heated up this week about Sam Smith.
Oh, here we
go. Body positivity within the LGBT community. Now, a lot of our friends have been sharing the pastel-coloured infographics about... I think I sent some to you about...
Yeah, you send me them every day.
Every day. About... Well, the argument about how problematic it is the way that we're discussing Sam Smith's body compared to Harry Styles, or like the way that they do androgyny, I think.
Yeah, but I think it's also a conversation about obscenity in music videos. That's the conversation that's mostly happened. Yeah. Okay. Because it's the thing that I've mostly seen is he's come out with a very X-rated video.
Well, they've come out.
They've come out with a very X-rated video, and I resigned from the podcast.
I resigned as well.
And then a new one just comes in. So what I was saying is... Yeah, they put out a very X-rated video, and they're getting a lot of flag for it, a lot more than straight cis people do, and skinny cis people do, and I think that's true.
So there's loads of strands to it, which are like fair enough. Like I'm sure some of the things people are saying about him obviously are awful, unfair.
But it's about the obscenity bit is where the controversy is.
But I feel like people are using that as like a bit of a Trojan horse. Like they're basically they're annoyed about the fact that they think that Sam Smith doesn't look as good as they used to, and there's also annoyance at the fact that Sam Smith seems really happy. So I saw this TikTok, somebody was filming outside of their window, and Sam Smith was doing like one of those TikTok dances in the street. And people were just being really nasty and being like, oh my God, how pathetic that they think that they can, do that. Oh my God, they look so dumb or whatever. But I also think that it's just people take a lot of pleasure in ridiculing people who seem smug or happy or content when they aren't fitting into certain beauty standards. I think that the Lena Dunham thing is a really interesting thing to bring up in the context of this. Because people like relish bitching about someone
big
like
Lena
her.
Stan.
I'm a very big Lena Stan, and yes, she's a human being, problematic person, potentially in some ways. You could argue it's not what I'm talking about, but I think that it's because she doesn't fit into beauty standards, and she's successful, and she's happy, and she's showing her life.
Is she happy?
That people.
So she's sad.
She just
I
got
don't really
married.
know much about her.
And she's put on a lot of weight since she was in Girls, and yet she still seems to be happy and thriving, and
I'm livid about
as she
that.
should be, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like I just think that people are extra nasty when it comes to somebody living their life in a way that they shouldn't be, because they're seemingly not caring about the standards that most people cater to. And it makes us angry. It's all about envy. It's like, well, why do you get to be happy if I don't get to be happy?
I agree with everything you said.
The Sam Smith thing is probably the same.
And I agree with everything you've said. I think the part which I struggle with a bit is there's sometimes a bit of a feeling which is basically saying we all have to pretend that they look good when they look awful. They do. No, that's not the different argument, because that's actually been what a lot of the argument. I don't think it has been a lot about obscenity. A lot of it's been like, you wouldn't be saying they look awful if they were skinny, and we wouldn't say they look awful if they didn't look awful. And obviously that sounds bad, but this is not me trying to slag them off. I think you're allowed to have an opinion on an outfit looking bad, and I think it does look bad. And I feel sometimes there's a bit of a pressure where it's like, because what they're doing is outside the beauty norms, it's sort of wrong to think that it doesn't look good.
That's true.
And it's like things can look bad.
Yeah, no. People can make areas of fashion. For
you know
sure.
what I mean?
I don't think that.
I think
it
looks
fashion
bad.
is great.
I think we'll
It's on
look back
taste.
on it and be like, "Wow, that looks terrible."
But then it's the purpose of the
that
music
people say it
video.
with.
It's the purpose of the music video for.
But it's not the
them
music
to
video.
look great.
It's
Or
all
is
of
it?
Well, most
it's the
music
whole.
videos are.
So the music.
I know, but then you wouldn't. I mean, we wouldn't comment on someone looking like bad in any music video. Do you know what I mean?
We would.
I don't know, as in comment.
But I'm not commenting.
You could think it.
I'm not commenting.
I know, but we're in this conversation. But then should they not do that kind of raunchy music video because they're overweight? Then
I guess I didn't know about the obscenity thing. I didn't know that was the thing.
Hold on, because you can differentiate the question, because the first bit could be, do you have a right to not find that attractive? And the answer is absolutely yes.
Yeah.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
You can't police that. We can't help it.
Yeah.
But the second question is, should that be allowed to happen without comment? Yeah. I think it should.
I think so. It's never going to happen without comment when you put anything
because
out
you're
there
pop
on the
culture
internet.
and you're set. It's about fashion. It's about trends. You can't put something out into trying to set a trend, trying to be in the center of culture, trying to be fashion, and not expect it to have comments. Surely
there are plenty of other badly styled people on a similar level. It's just about the fact that it's garnering so much more attention. It's become a fucking trend on TikTok about let's make fun of Sam Smith for how bad they look.
Fine, that's awful. I agree with that, but I think we all agreed on those sort of things. But I think the more specific thing, I didn't know about the obscenity thing because it's not just about this music video. It's about the whole.
Their
whole new look.
It's with an album release.
He's done a lot of other.
Yeah, I'm sure there's loads. But there was definitely the obscenity thing was on like the front page of BBC. It was like a row about whether music videos should have like ratings, as in like PG or something, or locks. If they're
how obscene is it?
I don't watch.
I haven't
videos.
seen this video. You're right.
Yeah, it's fairly obscene. But that's the thing. It's not as obscene as.
But would you find it obscene? Would you find it as obscene if you were attracted?
Well,
no, but that's what I'm saying. I'm not. I'm saying
so much
I wouldn't comment on the obscenity because I think it's fine.
I just think
but
that
there's loads of other stuff.
When it makes people, I think also the fact that it's like that Sam Smith is leaning into the feminine as well. I think that we're just a lot more critical generally of people that are like outwardly showing feminine traits and properties and stuff like that.
I disagree though, because fine, all of that agree with, and because
it's like, I'm trying to be beautiful, and therefore we feel the right to comment. Well, you are either beautiful or not. Like,
I think you're allowed to think it, but you should. Obviously, it's gonna happen, but I don't think it should be said.
But do you not think it's? I would feel comfortable saying, and we have said that Harry Styles, a lot of his fits look bad. And I feel very comfortable doing
100%. I don't think.
Yeah, we agree, but that's because. But you feel absolutely fine saying that because Harry Styles is at the center of culture, and in many ways is affecting how people dress, and it's where fashion's heading, and he's a huge hallmark of this. And you're allowed to have views on trends where fashions are going, where your generation's going.
It's not the fit because you're talking about the fit. It's their body and everything.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
It is.
But how can you take the two away?
Because
you dressed.
You can't particularly.
They're literally in tandem. It's not like you can't put Harry Styles' clothes in the same size on Sam Smith and be like that looks. And then it's like there's no change.
But you can comment on the outfit rather than on the body and everything else. That's a different thing. Of course you can.
But if it is completely ignorant to say that. How you dress, it's in tandem with your body. It's how it suits your body.
Yeah, but it depends what the kind of comments are.
Yeah, but
it's obviously a lie.
Everything,
it's obviously a lie.
All right, that's problematic.
That's not. I'm saying that generally.
What about
I think fat people suit everything. Personally,
my point is that basically thin people can get away with wearing anything, like even if it's fucking ugly. Like if you see like that photo of what's her name, Bella Hadid, in the tiny little UGG boot things with the.
I'm not that clued into pop culture. Please don't look at me for that.
There was a picture that went round, and then everybody started buying these tiny little UGG boots and stuff. And and she was wearing little.
You're saying if Sam Smith was wearing those little UGG boots?
I just think that like. Aesthetically speaking, I thought the outfit and some of the outfits that these really beautiful skinny models wear, you're like, no, on a regular sized person or anybody that didn't have that type of build, it just actually wouldn't be that fashionable. But basically, thin people can get away with wearing whatever they want.
Because it looks good.
Well, I guess just because it's like something that we're trained to be like, well, that's acceptable and that looks like a model and therefore that must be kind of like high art or cutting edge. But the second that you see it on a body that you're not used to seeing it on, we just feel the right to comment. In the same way that any fat person who puts anything out there online is subjected to getting comments about, well, why don't you exercise more and why don't you change the way that you live your life, despite the fact that you don't know anything about these people. You don't know how healthy a thin person is, but you just don't get the same kind of comments.
Yeah.
I just think it's really interesting. I didn't even realise I felt so strongly on the topic until we started speaking.
Yeah,
about
I find it very interesting. I guess the main little nugget that I always wanted to talk about is the feeling of when we're like culturally trying to pretend something looks good when we all know it looks bad.
Yeah, that's actually.
But the truth is, all these things. We all know it doesn't look good.
Yeah,
and there's this idea that, you know, back in our animal state or like before capitalism, we somehow, there's this like fantasy land that we used to believe, and this idea of viewing this like perfect looking skinny model, it's like actually we've been told, you know, it's been on the back of cereal boxes or whatever, and that's all. And there's this view that there's no like even modicum of objectivity when we can all say that doesn't look good. Great if you're confident about it. Fucking fair play to you. And it's not just because bigger bodies. I think Lizzo, I like that whole thing.
I agree.
But it does look bad, you know.
On Sam Smith.
Yeah, it just does look bad.
I think I agree, you're allowed to have your own opinion about that.
And you're allowed to look
bad. I don't think thinking that should therefore be like we should say. There should be an obligation to say it looks bad. I feel like that's an unnecessary step.
But I don't like the problem.
I hate the problem. I hate when there's, because you're right, that definitely exists when some people kind of implore you to find really like obese people attractive,
and if you don't, it's problematic.
That's obviously nonsense. That's ridiculous, because I can't help what I'm attracted to. Of course, that's fine. And I agree that there can be some people like it, definitely, but there can be a general thing that, you know, that it doesn't look great. But I don't think it's a good thing to encourage saying it. I feel like it's just, we just can go like, yeah, fine.
To force anybody to fake anything is just not going to lead to anything constructive, is it?
Definitely.
I think that you're absolutely allowed to think.
There is a bit of a pressure.
You're allowed to think.
But I think that's because of the conversation around it. It goes like, you know, there's a... Sorry, baby.
No. It's absolutely fine, boys. I'm out of the podcast game for a little while now, so I think I just need to get used to... the talking over each other thing.
Sorry.
It's fine. But I think that you're allowed to think that Sam Smith looks bad. Absolutely. Like, I don't think that they look great either, personally. But it's just, I think the thing that's really noticeable is like the vitriol with which people they just love to slag it off, basically. The look and everything. It's like they enjoy it so much because it's like, oh my God, how fucking embarrassing. Because they used to look so good.
It's the two sides of the culture war, because people are seeing that and going, no, that looks bad, and I should be allowed to say it looks bad. And then everyone else, and then the other side are going, shit, no, that's beautiful because we should do that.
Thing,
and in reality, it's somewhere in between two. It's like, it doesn't look, it can, for some people, it will look great.
Hi, I'd like to interrupt this conversation very briefly to add a addendum to this debate, because I hadn't actually seen the music video. I'd only really seen images, and that night I watched the music video of Sam Smith, the one with all the X-rated stuff. And I think it kind of worked for me. I take back a lot of what I was saying. I think he actually he looked a lot better than I thought. I think it's just a couple of screenshots with a couple of outfits. I was like, that doesn't look good. But the music video, mea culpa, because he slays it. So I take back most of what I said. Great. We've gone over time now for the main episode. We're going to go on to the Patreon now. Thanks very much for coming on, Beebs. Beebs will be on the Patreon. And I've got a show at the Bill Murray, 26th February, 5:30. I think there's still only a few tickets left, so get on them now. We'll see you next week.